What's up, guys? It's Captain Mike, Florida Sport Fishing TV. Guys, I'm also a brand ambassador for Taco Marine, and I wanted to take the time to share some information about one of the most innovative products that has really come across the sport fishing industry in a very, very long time. What are we looking at here? This is Taco's all-new internally rigged collapsible carbon fiber outrigger poles. I know that's a mouthful, right? So I'm going to say it again. Internally rigged collapsible carbon fiber outrigger poles. Now, of course, carbon fiber outrigger poles have been around for quite some time. Taco already has awesome carbon fiber poles. So why the big change? What's the big deal here about these new poles? So what I want to do is really break it down. I'm going to break down the benefits for you. I'm going to break down the different features. We're going to take a lot of time here. We're going to go slow. We're going to assemble these, and we're going to do it right inside here in my rigging station. I've already assembled the other pole. It's outside on the Sea Hunter. But I want to show you that you can even do this by yourself. They recommend 2 people, but I think that if you pay attention to the details, you'll see we're going to assemble this entire outrigger by ourselves, just one person here. But I want you to understand the benefits, and I want you to see how this could really help you be more successful on the water. However, it starts long before you even get to poles, because remember what I said, they're collapsible. This is a 19-foot pole that's in 3 different sections. And this is the way that it's shipped to you. Now, what does that mean? That means that shipping costs are drastically reduced because we have a box that is substantially smaller than imagine trying to ship something that was nearly 20 feet. So it makes it much more user-friendly. Now, not only on the shipping, but also on storage, also on transportation. You may be one of those guys that only put your outriggers out during certain fishing trips, certain venues, certain scenarios or bodies of water. You may trailer your boat a lot or have limited storage space. So many different scenarios that we could go over. But the bottom line is by being collapsible, and in 3 pieces, it gives you that option. It's just a much more user-friendly feature. Now, understand carbon fiber. Incredibly strong, but incredibly light. We're not talking pounds, we're not talking ounces, we're talking grams. Look, I'm literally lifting this up and balancing it on the tip of 1 finger. They weigh nothing. But you would be surprised, I'm certainly surprised on how something that is so light can be so strong. But that's the technology right behind carbon fiber. Okay, that's what makes it so special. And of course, you could see that finish if you come in here and look at that, and you know that my Sea Hunter, my 41, has a lot of carbon fiber accents, including the hatch covers, the dashboard. So these outrigger poles really look sharp. Not only do they function incredibly well, but they're fashionable also. So another big benefit. Now look, it's a little intimidating when these come in a box. They come in a relatively large box. There's obviously 2 of them. And you need to understand what you're dealing with. So don't be, don't be shocked, so to speak, because it really is very, very simple once you understand it. So let's get right into it. First of all, these are triple rigs. So there are 3 different halyards. Now, Taco made it very simple. They changed the color. It's 400-pound premium monofilament. That's what your halyards are. But you have 3 different colors. You have clear, you have blue right here, and then, of course, you have your typical black here. Now understand that all of these halyard lines are just wound on these styrofoam spools. This is just for transportation. This is just for setup purposes. When we're all said and done, obviously these styrofoam spools are not going to be part of the equation. So that's what we're talking about here. They just made it easier for you as the end user to assemble all of this by taking that time. Styrofoam spools wrapped in cellophane keeps all of the halyard line very neat and very easy to work with. The lines already go through the poles, okay? So as you can clearly see here, all 3 lines are entering the pole. And by the way, that's a really nice little taco emblem, you know, right there lasered into that part. Looks really cool. But again, we've got all 3 halyard lines. We've got rollers, stainless steel rollers, and of course all of the components that go into these outriggers are built to last the life of the boat. They're built to withstand the harsh saltwater environment, so you never have to worry about that. And once again, the lines already go through the poles. Now, you may be saying to yourself, well, how do they not get tangled? What if one breaks? Or, you know, so many different things, right? I'm gonna slide down to you to the far end of this pole, and I'm gonna show you something. Just come right here, right to the far end of this pole, and there it is right there. You see that internal tubing? So clearly there's internal tubing that goes through the outrigger poles, and inside that internal rigging is where your 400-pound monofilament halyard goes, right through there. So they could never get tangled inside the carbon fiber pole, okay? I'm telling you, these guys thought of everything. They took the carbon fiber technology in outrigger poles and they said, hey, how can we make this better? How can we improve on a product that's already exceptional, but what can we do to make it better? So why internally rigged? First of all, looks great. A lot less moving parts. You don't have the swivel, you know, halyard rollers rolling around your outriggers. They're quieter. Like I said, they're incredibly light. They look great, okay, and great to use. And remember what I said earlier, they're rigged with three lines, 3 halyards. And typically we'll fish a teaser off the short and then 2 baits. But you don't have to. You can fish 1 bait off the long. You can fish 1 teaser. You can fish 1 teaser and 1 bait, whatever it is that you would like to do. So very, very versatile. They're available in 2 different sizes, 19 and 22 foot. These are the 19, but if you have an even larger high performance center console, sport fish, whatever, these poles are available in 22 foot lengths as well. They will fit all outrigger mounts, not only the Taco Grand Slam series, but all outrigger mounts, okay, that are 1.5 inch diameter. 1.5 inch diameter, which is the standard for outrigger poles. So I don't care what kind of mounts you have on your boat, you can work with these outrigger poles. So these are out of the box, clearly. We've already, as I mentioned, assembled the first pole. We're now going to assemble this pole by myself in confined area here, just to show you how easy it is. And we have done nothing. This is how they come right out of the box, just like this. So first thing I'm going to do is just kind of prepare everything. Don't rush it. Look, it's not a race. Take your time. Make sure everything is nice and neat. These are all laid out. Nothing is tangled. And remember, if these fall on the floor and you need a little more line, or that's what this is for. Okay, you're going to have to pull out some line. Don't be afraid to do so. All right, they're going to stay wound right on these spools. So here we are. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take a look at my pole. And I'm going to take the 2 furthest sections and fold them over. All right, so we'll kind of back this up a little bit, and I'm going to come your way. You may want to back up. And again, we're in a tight space, so we'll do the best that we can in here. And truthfully, it's pouring rain outside. Otherwise, I'd be doing this outside. But this is a great environment, fun to do it inside here. And once again, it'll show you how easy these really are. So we're just going to fold those 2 pieces back, right? You're with me so far. I mean, anybody, a child can do this. Now, come on in here. Here's the next kind of piece to the puzzle that's important to take a look at. Taco has this J-lock, this really unique J-lock type system, okay, right there. And you can see that they have labeled each section of the pole with arrows. So you see an arrow in and turn. And here's the receiving end, right there, you'll see an arrow. So look, kids, I mean, come on, if you can follow some basic arrows, you can do this. We're gonna lift this pole, we're gonna insert it into that hole, aligning those 2 arrows, and we're gonna twist and lock it into place. And once again, look inside here. The internal tubes is where our line is running through. So I'm not scared or I'm not worried about any sort of tangling inside the poles. That's impossible. So let's go ahead and do this. We'll lift this up. And you may have to manipulate that internal tube a little. We're going to push it in. Let me get a better grip on this one. And again, we'll line up those arrows right there. Okay, and I'm going to kind of go slow to show you. We're going to just wedge that. Get in there. There we go. Okay, wedge that in there, turn it, boom. So we got the second piece on. Now all we have to do is put the final third piece on. I mean, this is really, really easy. Remember what I said. Take a look down here in this tubing again. If you have excess tube sticking out, just tuck it in. Just manipulate it a little bit and tuck it in. And once again, we have the arrows. We're gonna line up the J-lock, the two arrows. Take a look right in there, a little force, boom, locked into place. Done. I'm going to unlock it and lock it back in just to show you. Boom. Okay, now it's unlocked. We line up the two arrows. We go in, we turn, it's locked. Now I want to point out the monofilament coming out of the rollers. Okay, it's rolled up. It's already pre-rigged through the tube and it's rolled up right at the end so it doesn't re-enter that as you're re-rigging. You may want to add a little swivel or a little buffer or just something to prevent it from going back into that hole. But the bottom line is our outrigger right now is fully rigged. We've got all three sections together, okay, ready to go. What I'm going to do is just come back here, all the way back here. Remember, this is 19 feet of carbon fiber pole. So look where I am, way back here. And here are my spools of line. I've got plenty of line to rig these any way that I would like. All right, the pole is already fully assembled. I'm just gonna slide this up because I'm not done yet. Perhaps the best feature of these poles is yet to come. And we're just gonna slide that right there. And by the way, look how effortlessly I'm holding up a 19-foot carbon fiber outrigger pole with literally one hand, with one finger. Okay, that's how light these are. So boom, we're gonna put that down. Now, guys, remember, with internally rigged outriggers, we don't have the swivel going around the outside of the pole with the rollers. So how your outrigger pole sits into your outrigger mount now makes a very big difference. Previously, it didn't because the swivel would literally roll around the carbon fiber pole and your line would be exiting that pole into the water at the perfect angle. We don't have that privilege, so to speak, with the internally rigged ones. So Taco came up with a fantastic solution built into the mount, right into the mount. This is the device that's actually going to slide into your 1.5" receiving outrigger mount. Once again, either a Taco product or another brand, as long as it's 1.5". But here, take a look at this innovation. Look at those teeth right up at the top of that, right there, right? And you see how I can turn that? Now, every boat is different. So in my particular boat, on my Sea Hunter, I may want that outrigger, the line exiting the outrigger at a slightly different angle than where you may want it. And that's what this ratchet type contraption allows you to do. Because you see right here on this side is the receiving end of these teeth. So I literally can slide this on and you can see, look inside there. See how those teeth just align right there? Okay. So I could slide it on there. I could take this big nut right here, slide it right over and tighten it up. Now, here's the tricky part. Not the tricky part, here's the trick. That's what I should say. Once I slide this into my base and I extend my outrigger pole, I can now turn the outrigger pole at whatever little direction, whatever little increment that I want to ensure that I'm indexing the line appropriately, meaning the line is coming out of the outrigger pole into the water, and it's not on any sort of funny angle that would create any sort of unnecessary chafe. Okay, really, really important. And once I have that in the perfect position, I simply tighten the nut right here. Tighten it by hand as much as you can. And right there, there's a little set screw. See it right there? Just one little set screw. That's the only tool that you need to assemble these 19-foot internally rigged collapsible carbon fiber poles, is a tiny little set screw, little Allen wrench. And now my poles are rigged. The outrigger is in the correct angle for the lines to exit down into the water. It's very clean, very neat, and I can go on to apply all of my release clips and any sort of rigging that I would like to do. And that's our next video. Part 2 is actually rigging our internally rigged collapsible carbon fiber poles. So stick around. I'm looking forward to seeing you out at the dock.